And we're live.
Rob Thomas in the morning.
Gotta love some Rob Thomas.
Everything's going to be all right.
Good morning, Nudelberg Daily Huddle.
Let's ride. We get one shot to get it right.
One shot.
Billy Herman in the house.
Billy Herman. Hola, sir. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, John Son. Good morning, Jason Mutner. Nick Ziffer. Tripp. Good morning, guys.
The casino man, Jack Edelman in the house.
Love it.
So there we have it, guys.
Long Jr.
Cool way to start the day. Lots of good stuff for a Friday. We're going to do some fun stuff today. Let me explain why there's a third player on the screen today. Shane Money, why don't you jump in and tell everybody what we're doing?
Yeah, so from going forward, I'm going to be running the back end, running the board.
Hold on. What do you mean from going forward? You always are running the back end. You're always
people know that.
Right? We're just adding another bucket. We're just adding another thing to it.
Just dropping another thing on the line item there. So I'll be running the back end, and comments that you guys throw out, questions, anybody that's got a good nugget, I'm going to throw up on the screen. And if you have anything that you can't get to and post on here, if you want to email or text me, I will jump in and ask the boys to answer.
So what does that mean? That he's going to actually pull comments out of the stream and he's going to put them right on the screen. And so when you jump off, Shay, can you just take one from Kelly Martin, who said good morning, and good morning, Kelly. Great job with Iconopedia yesterday. Really enjoyed your group, but you will see that he will then throw it right up on the major screen, so everybody gets to be seen by everybody at one shot. And there you go. So,
I love it.
There you go.
So John Son said, we get much more than one shot. Without failure, no learning. John, I love this comment because that song, One Shot, I think you have to take it in the reference of, you have to understand that every day is that one shot, and that there's lots of failures and trials and tribulations that go through it, but it's one life. This is one opportunity. Each day is its own opportunity to go get that 1% better. You got one. This one is not coming back. There's nothing you can do about that. So you got to take advantage of it today.
So I love that one. I posted the music in the Facebook group, which, by the way, that's one of the reasons I want people to join the Facebook group, is you get the music and you get the reason behind why we're doing it. But I said, it's one journey, man. You live, you learn. But one of the things you have to do is laugh. And I know that sometimes we talk about, the nuggets you got to take away, and you got to do this and you got to do this. Well, it's okay sometimes to just sit back and laugh. And I want to talk today about the power of laughter. What is the power of laughter, Mark? Why don't you share that with us?
Well, before we get into the power of laughter, I want to share a story from this morning, because
I got taking over. You're whoa. Take over Thursday, bro. Okay, so let's tell what it is.
So this was just something that hit me this morning, because I got up and I went to my workout with my my gym and my class, and at the end of the workout, the name of the gym is called Roar Station, and they've got rebel roars, in the gym, and that's the whole theme and the marketing of it. But at the end of the workout today, the head trainer on the mic calls me out and said, Mark gets the fucking rebel stamp this morning. And I literally got a stamp. I posted it to my story on Instagram and Facebook, and you can see I got a stamp on my arm that said fucking rebel. And it just reminded me, and it took me a long time to learn this in coaching, but for the leaders out there, or for just anybody who wants to have an influence on somebody, the importance of affirmation and recognition of somebody who does something the right way is critical. Because if you're leading people and they do something right and they're looking for your affirmation, they're looking for your, good job, your praise, and you don't give it to them, it's very, very quick that you can lose those people and they'll lose their motivation to want to do the right thing for you. Just as critical to delay feedback, because depending on where you are in the org chart, and I had this conversation with somebody I'm coaching yesterday, if you're too high up in the org chart and you step down to somebody and give immediate feedback to them, that could crush their confidence for the rest of their career. So understanding the timeliness of praise and feedback and how important that is into building relationships with people. It struck me this morning after my workout.
So Mark, I want to also bring out, that's a great, and I love that we shift gears. We got lots of content, but we can go anywhere with this stuff. All of the people that shine in and say something we can go with. But it's, you said when people are watching you, sometimes you don't even know that they're watching you. I mean, that's the world we live in the social media world. There's a camera so sometimes you don't realize that your actions are really leaving a trail behind you. So it's very, very significant that you live every day knowing that the cameras are on.
There's your one shot. That's the one shot song. And this stamp had never been given out in the class before that I had been in. I'm sure they've done it in other classes, but I didn't even know that it was a thing. So such an awesome, Jake Stir, good morning. Welcome to the Huddle, sir.
We have 3 Nudelbergs in the house, man. I love it.
Just understanding the importance of when you're building influence with people, understanding the timeliness of praise and feedback and what that does.
I love that. I mean, that is really a way to motivate. So I'm going to shift gears and switch into something that you and I were talking about, the communications, how people email us and what they say is just absolutely, completely berserk. You sent me a note yesterday. Does this really work for people? Why don't you jump into the email that you got?
And I had to send this to you because I was like, this is the CEO of a company who's sending this to me. There's no way he would do this if this doesn't work for him, right? But so in the subject line, it says call Mark Nudelberg and Trent Jones. And that immediately sparks my attention. I'm like, wait a minute, I have a call. I don't even know who is Trent Jones. So, hi, Mark. I hope this email finds you well. I understand you're the president of On the Ball Ventures and the best person to discuss this with. We specialize in IT as a service management consulting companies. Upgrade your hardware or reduce your annual IT expense by 50% with support and help decks included. I'm confident we can help. Would you be available for a quick call on Thursday? P.S. No more billable IT hours. This is the CEO of the company sending me this. I was blown away. Because number one, the first thing that I recognize is he's got my email. That means he found it through LinkedIn. So all he did while he was on my LinkedIn page was pull my email and send the email and send it. He had absolutely no research to figure out who I was.
Or he had a bot do it and he wasn't even involved in this whole thing. This is a formatted kind of bullshit kind of thing. So here's a little takeaway. If you start any message on LinkedIn, in an email, in a voicemail, in a text, I am, or this is what we do, right? Out. Goodbye. Not interested. You don't want to take the time to have one brief little conversation with me about who you are. Not interested. So Christian Castellano says exactly right. So I get one the other day from a company called Flow Engine, and I'm calling them out because, hey, Steve, how have things been since the last time we spoke some odd months ago? So first of all, what is odd months ago? Do real people talk like that?
Down the line. It's like
right. Down the line. I would like to talk to you down the line some odd months from now. So what does that mean? I have to go 1, 3, 5, 1. So first of all, he sends this to me. Hopefully business has been going well. He goes into this whole thing. I have never spoken to this human being. So he just jumps in with the assumption that maybe I fell asleep at the wheel and I would go, okay, maybe I did talk to him. So I send him back a note and I said, unfortunately, we've never spoken. Then yesterday I go, hey, Steve, wanted to circle back again before we kick off our next month's client count. all about him. Seriously, Flow Engine, da 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 da. So
give me your chances.
So that's a one shot. I will never do business with Flow Engine because the one shot they got to have a conversation with me, they fucked up. Done. See ya. Bye. Okay, let's have some fun today. So the core that I wanted to talk about today was, with all of this stuff going on, all of the pandemic and all of the stress that people have, sometimes you just got to laugh. So I want to talk about the power of laughter. What is the power of laughter? Laughing releases endorphins from your brain, reduces the level of stress in your body, and strengthens the immune system. It is proven that laughter therapy, also known as humor, can reduce negativity, emotional stress, and physical discomfort. So Robert Milder in the house from Holland. Thank you, my brother. If you have not seen his episode, Tell Me Something Good episode, he actually takes plastic out of the ocean, refurbishes it, recycles it, and makes high-end furniture with it. Man, that is one cool dude. Reach out. Thank you for joining us, Robert Milder. So anyway, so this whole power of laughter.
The show, Dragon's Den?
Huh?
Dragon's Den?
He did what is called Dragon's Den, which is the Shark Tank version. Most of the American shows have come from something in the UK. Boom. He did Dragon's Den. 4 of the 5 people wanted to invest in his shit, and his stuff's coming to America. And excuse the pun, Eddie Murphy, but we're covered. So you laughed. So one of these things about laughter that I wanted to jump into is that, like, Mark, Jake, and I communicate all the time with these GIFs. And the other day I sent one to Jake, and he goes, "That actually made me crack up." Right. We're testing the boundaries of how to communicate to break up someone's day. On the work that we did yesterday with Kelly Martin and her team, we were telling them, listen, what you do socially, you can do in business. If you make somebody laugh, you break down the boundaries. It's therapy for them. It allows them to have a break. So I want to talk about some funny stuff today, if we can. Is that okay, Mark?
Let's do it.
Do that? Okay. So while this is funny, not funny, but it goes with there's no crying in baseball. Last night, the Philly pitcher, Jose Alvarez, throws a pitch. It gets blasted, line drive, right back to the mound and nails him in the kazoos. Bam. The guy crawls to the ball, throws the guy out at first base, and then basically dies. They take him off the field. So his misery is our humor today. Shout out to Jose Alvarez. Really, really great job about laughing.
Look up the highlight, because it's a great highlight. It takes it right in the spot.
You talk about the one shot. That guy will never forget that shot ever, man.
It's actually a one shot.
So all of this whole conversation goes to perfect. I don't know who just said that comment.
That's Carissa. I don't know why she's got some kind of privacy setting, but Carissa said that. People
remember the way you make them feel. A lot of the work that we do is because we make people have fun. Learning can be fun. It's all this kind of stuff. So today I want to give you another word that I found really funny. It's called randonauts. Mark, do you have this copy?
Yeah. So, I mean, for the younger generation who's watching, it's very similar to like the Google Pokemon thing that was going on, where people were walking around capturing, invisible Pokemon all over the world. This is an app that you can download, and after entering your location and how far you're willing to travel, it will just send you somewhere random. So
and people are doing this. They're just going wherever it sends you.
Not people, millions of people. 6 million of the app's 8 million total downloads came from April alone. So this thing exploded during the pandemic, and it's literally just you're putting in where you are, an amount of miles that you'll travel, and it'll just send you somewhere, and you don't know where you're going, but you're just going to get there. Which is something that we don't ever recommend to people. Don't ever go somewhere without a destination.
It's unbelievable.
Destination first.
That's laughable. So we've got, we're like at the third quarter almost here of our show this morning. We've been talking about names this week. And again, another shout out to Mr. Turnoff because that guy, I'll never forget him ever in my life. We were talking about names, Nudelberg, Turnoff, and I said to myself, you know what? I've seen and experienced some really bad company names. And so today we're going to close the show rather, and talk about the 13 worst company names imaginable. These are real company names. I'm happy to share this list with you because the idea that if none of this makes you laugh, right, you need to look in the mirror and find out what the hell's wrong. You're holding on way too tight. So, yeah. Mark, you want to jump in and go first?
Well, Jeff Neer just made me laugh because he said, literally, taking one for the team.
That's awesome, man. That is fantastic, man.
Okay, so number one on the list, and we'll post the article so you guys can have it, but Poopsie's Pizza, restaurant located in Massachusetts. Not really sure what they were thinking when they decided to name it Poopsie's Pizza, but that ranks way up there.
I love it. Here's a shout out, and I don't remember if she was your teacher or Jake's teacher, but Marty Dilks is in the house. Was that your teacher?
Yeah, Miss Dilks, my third grade teacher, the Puppeteer Club. Shout out to the Puppeteer Club, where we made paper mache puppets. My first.
And you know what? She said that you would be something special in third grade. So shout out to you and all of the teachers, because I don't think teachers get the recognition they should. They all have an impact on our kids. So shout out to all of you. This next business, which it's hard to believe that somebody in the gas business, which is funny in and of itself. You can have a conversation about the gas all day long. Passmore gas. Perhaps, and here's the thing, perhaps the people at Passmore Gas ate at Poopsie's.
Yes. Actually, I love the name Passmore Gas. Like you'll never forget that.
Never forget that, right?
People always say, you never forget that name.
Right,
so
number three. Number three is a killer.
Oh boy, it's Anal Tech. Anal Tech is a Delaware company stuck with their unfortunate name for some time before they finally decide to move to more appropriate name. Miles Scientific sounds far more serious and authoritative. Why they decided to start with Anal Tech, I have no idea.
Unbelievable. So I'm going to skip one and go right to number 5 because this one's classic and I want to own it. It's hard to believe that somebody would name their sushi restaurant Fukmi. Fuck me sushi. It's real. When I send you the article, there's a picture of the restaurant. Somebody actually paid to put the sign on the door on the wall. It says "Fuck me sushi."
This isn't one that's on the list. This is actually a Lauderdale local business, and I'm going to shout them out because I see it every time I drive to the gym and I leave my building. They're right next to us, and they've got a van wrapped. Double Time Digital. What the fuck is double time? Like, does it take you double the time to do the job I need? Like, why would I want something double the time? I don't understand Double Time Digital.
So, some of this stuff you just can't make up. I love that one. Number 6 is Stubbs Prosthetics and Orthotics. Like, isn't it like politically incorrect to call?
Yeah, I don't know how they got away with that one.
It's like Stumpy, man. Like, come on, man.
I don't know how they got away with that one. I'm going to jump all the way to number 9 because we're getting near the end here, and this one is definitely.
Oh, you know what? This is probably the best one.
This is not appropriate for everybody, but Cock Polishing Services has a real van. There's a picture of the van. We'll share the article, but the
guy who owns the company, his name is Cock. So
yeah.
Hans has that's the winner. All right, let's see which other one we're gonna do with. So imagine this. This one is truly baffling. The definition of there's a company called Going Postal.
It is Going Postal. Going Postal. And so I think we should end with this one because this could take us to our last topic of the day. But Prophylactic, which was a short-lived business out of Kentucky, real-time feed aggregator and consolidated updates from social media. prophylactic. Why you would name your business that ever, I have no idea. But there is some good news of what's happening in the world out of Kentucky, and that is that bourbon is booming, right? And so as we head off into Friday, I think we should end with just letting people know that bourbon is absolutely on fire right now. There's a ton of great information about it. And if you are not a bourbon drinker, now is a great time to get involved in it, because there are tons of brands that are exploding, very unique, small craft, single barrels, all those kinds of things. And it's a rage. I mean, I'm a big fan of a Manhattan or of an old fashioned right now. So bourbon is the way to go this Friday afternoon as you guys take off onto the weekend.
Well, I would think that, when you worked in Cincinnati, so close to Kentucky, Kentucky is the home of bourbon. And it's interesting because one of the things that Malcolm Gladwell talks about in The Tipping Point is, things start with the law of few and then turn out to be the law of many. So, way back when bourbon was a very sophisticated drink, it went away, old fashions and stuff like that. Went away. Young people are the ones who said, hey, listen, vodka doesn't taste like anything. I don't get it. Michelle, who's here, she's not a vodka drinker. She goes, it doesn't do anything. She wants dark tequila. She wants dark, bourbon. So,
about a decade ago, speakeasies really came back. And there was one in Tallahassee that was really cool. You had to make a reservation. You showed up at a big bar and you had to sit in a specific seat, and somebody would come over and ask you a question that you had to have the right answer to. You would give them the answer. They'd walk you through the alley into a place where you couldn't use your phone. It was really dim lit. It was very Prohibition-esque. That's really when bourbon started to make a real rise again. And so somebody's talking about, we can share the bourbon article that we have that talks about all the different bourbons. And
I actually sent the bourbon article to Jim and James, Jim Barrett, who is collecting now. And this is what's happening now. People are collecting all of these unique, and my friend Brett Dunn, who I spoke to his organization last year in New York, he's still promised. I'm still waiting on my Pappy Van Winkle, man. He said he could get me a bottle.
Speaking of bourbon, shout out to Vaughn Dugan, because one of the first times I ever hung out with Vaughn, we hung out at his restaurant Kapow, and he introduced me to Nika and some of the most unbelievable Japanese whiskeys that are the best in the world. So shout out to Vaughn. Looking forward to connecting again soon.
Here's an idea, and here's how we'll close out today, because we're right at the bumper. I suggest that at some point in the very, very near future, we create an event for all of the people that can make it in the Huddle, and we make it a bourbon event. We get somebody to teach us and drink bourbon and all that kind of stuff. Last takeaway is my man. Hold on. I had a note here a second ago, but Greg Goldstein. That's who it was. Thank you. My brain just went bad. Laughter is contagious. So one of the most important things is if you make people laugh, you make other people laugh. And Amy just shouted out in here that the whole group is laughing. Your day should be different because we started out laughing. Go make other people do that. And for Lori Salarillo, she's putting it out there. I'm getting involved in JA in an event that we called the Ultimate Night Out. And I think we'll make it a bourbon night. We'll get really involved. So this was fun today. Hope you laugh.
Fun Friday.
Fun Friday. When you're having fun, great things will happen. So there's no crying in baseball. Get out there and hit the ball because you only got one shot.
And stay on the ball.
See you guys.